ResearchAIdeas is a platform for researchers to systematize and accelerate their research workflow. It's targeted towards AI safety researchers, but really it's applicable for any computer science adjacent fields. So yeah, right when you sign in, you're taken to this page, potential projects, which is a bit bland at the moment, but essentially it's just a place to ideate project ideas. So I'll add one now. So I was kind of at a loss for a good project idea. So kind of on a meta level, the best idea I could come up with was a tool that uses LLMs to help researchers think of novel project ideas. So yeah, when you're ready, you can click this button and it'll create a project for you. After navigating to it through the sidebar, it takes you to the project workspace. And to give a brief overview, it's divided into 3 sections. So the description section is a place to think high level and iterate really on the core idea. So you can get feedback from the LM, discuss, and such. The literature section is a place for you to discover, analyze, store, annotate literature. So LLM tools help you along the way, generating search queries, and ultimately it'll help you write a literature review. And you'll probably go back and forth between reading literature and enhancing the idea, but this is how I've segmented it. So, and then the experiment section is a place for you to identify the core sub-questions your project is trying to answer, and think through experiments to address them. So it'll help you come up with experiment ideas and think through how to engineer them or develop them. So yeah, to start, I'll probably get some feedback, see what the LM has to say. And so yeah, throughout this you have a side chat that is catered to the section you're working on. So interestingly, I'll get into that later, but so yeah, to start, I'll use the feedback command in the description section to get feedback on the idea. So yeah, you can chat with it as you would regularly any other chatbot. Behind the hood, I'm using Claude 3.5. I have hopes of being able to choose which model you're using, but that's what it is at the moment. Another feature is the ability to just look at the chat. So if you want to just focus on the chat, you can do that. You can also close the chat entirely and just focus on the workspace. I find that helpful, or have both. All right, so typically the next step is to jump to the literature section and find papers that are broadly related to your project concept. So you can just click Find Papers, and under the hood, this is using a search engine from exa.ai, and then LLMs are selecting and re-ranking the search results to be most relevant. All right, so once it's fully loaded, you can start looking at the search results. So an LLM has already generated kind of a summary. I've sectioned it to, what, how, and some limitations or ways in which the paper is not directly correlated with your project. You can also look at the abstract of the paper, and as you can see, an LLM has generated scores for different qualities of the paper. In addition, the LLM has categorized the papers. I've identified 4 paper categories: theoretical, method, empirical. And so yeah, when you're searching, you can filter for only empirical or only method. No survey results came up, or theoretical, it seems. Feature is sort. So the way this tool works is you can adjust how much you want to prioritize certain attributes of a paper when viewing the results. So naturally, if you want papers sorted more by their citation count, then it'll have to be sorted less by relevance, utility, novelty. And these are LLM generated scores, these bottom four. But so yeah, if I just wanted it to be done by newer, I could click save, and now this is December of 2024. And lastly, and probably most useful, is the /results command. So this will have the LLM analyze the results and provide an initial rough literature review. So it'll analyze historical trends, methodological approaches, emerging trends, and provide a rough overview. It'll also, point out papers as it goes along, and you can click to these and it'll show you to them. And of course, this will take you to the paper. I think another feature worth mentioning is the chat has a rich context management system. So if, naturally when you're in the literature section, it'll add the literature node as context, which includes the search results, right? If you're in the description, right, it'll get rid of that. But say I wanted to add a context item here. I can then, reference it there, what does this context item say? Placeholder example. So one thing you'll see throughout, for example, in the literature section, I have a potential queries list. Is this kind of AI assisted ideation lists? So here I can press generate, and it'll also, it's linked to a command in the chat, but it'll generate queries that you can use to search up. Also in the experiment section, the LLM is equipped to help think of potential experiments, for example, or potential sub-questions or core questions of the research. And of course, you can rank these as you'd like. And the last thing I want to show before I go is the ability to view and annotate specific literature. So say I really like this NOVA paper, I can add it and then view the PDF. As you're reading, you can talk to the LLM. So like a subcontext window has been created. And as you're reading, say you're confused about a passage or want the LLM to explain it, you can just highlight some text and go to the chat, and it'll automatically add it as context. So please explain this passage in. So the last thing I want to mention is that you can, as you're working on this, make edits, and it'll autosave. So as I reload, the edit saves, for example. And oh yeah, you can also collapse things, so that's fun. And also there's this cool directory system. Also, there's like a Chrome extension which can allow you to add papers as you're searching the web. But not to overwhelm you, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, please sign up. It's totally free. Very beta stage. I'd love to hear feedback. You can reach me at miles@researchaideas.com. And cool. Peace out.